While on my second tour in Samarra, Iraq, an IED detonated and tore both of my limbs off.
I've been in law enforcement for 16 and a half years as a state trooper. I was struck by a vehicle. The car hit me in the left side of the bike and in my left leg.
I was in a serious plane crash. I was a fighter pilot, and my aircraft burst into flame.
An IED exploded, severing my right leg above the knee.
I had my left leg amputated below the knee and my left arm amputated above the elbow.
We were on a routine patrol when my vehicle was struck by a deep-buried IED. Initial blast took me below the knee.
The surgeon advised that I probably wouldn't be able to continue my career as a state trooper.
While laying there, I started, crying.
Of course, you always want to know why me, why did this happen to me? Did I do something to deserve this?
Before I lost my limb, I was very independent as far as outside chores, working every day.
At the time of the crash, we weren't married yet. I said she didn't have to. I didn't want her to have to deal with this kind of thing for the rest of her life as well.
At my own expense, I used to fly all the way to San Diego and get my prosthetics made. I paid my own airfare, hotel, rental car.
My expectations at the time when I first met Tim were pretty dismal.
I thought that I was not going to be very independent anymore.
I wasn't comfortable and I didn't feel like I was going to be.
So I went to college with the idea that I would be a physical therapist. I was lucky enough to play basketball in college. One of my teammates, midway through my freshman year, lost his leg to an osteosarcoma. It was devastating, obviously. He came back and he was wearing a prosthesis. And this guy wheeled in and he walked out. Like, that's gotta be the most rewarding profession. So I switched everything and started to get involved with prosthetics.
At Prosthetic Innovations, we're passionate about prosthetics. It's all that we do. We're very fortunate that we have a very young and active clientele that make it exciting to come to work every day.
The reason we started Prosthetic Innovations was because we knew there was a better product out there. We knew that you could deliver great quality care to people in need of it.
Prosthetic Innovations' core strength is taking care of amputees that are looking to bring their prosthetic care to a different level.
We're a game changer. We can make a difference in people's lives. The way we engineer and the way we fabricate and the way we design things is an absolute asset.
We spend a lot of time in our test fitting phases. We spend a lot more time than most people doing test sockets and trying different things out to figure out not necessarily what's the best option currently out there, but to figure out what might be an unthought of option that would make somebody's life better.
We created a real specialty center that just focuses on bringing the performance, the prosthetic performance of those guys to a different level. And the last thing they need is a prosthesis to be the limiting factor. My goal as a prosthetist is to make the prosthetic side the sound side.
So we make sure that every prosthesis that we fabricate is as perfect as it can be.
The fit of your socket is so important, and it's unique to every person. You gotta have a good fit. You gotta be comfortable because pain is very bad. Walking becomes very hard.
The most important part of success for an amputee is the fit, is to be comfortable. It doesn't matter what they have underneath of them, that socket has to fit correctly.
If the fit's not right and you're not comfortable, it's just a paperweight.
So a lot of guys we work with really come in and their prosthesis doesn't match their ability, their potential. And the limit is usually the prosthetic care. And what we do is we partner with companies like iWalk and Össur, Ottobock, and we create a think tank to try to really develop a better widget.
Their emphasis is on the athletic-minded amputee.
They made this special custom socket for me. It took the pain away.
People need to have the potential to succeed and do great.
I've run 2 marathons, Marine Corps Marathon twice.
I went to my first Paralympic trials. It was a really big deal, not just for me, but for my family also.
It was actually 3 days short of a year of my crash that I got back to work. But to actually be back at work and be back with the boys, it was incredible.
A guy like Bob Walsh. Bob Walsh is a complex polytrauma. When we met Bob, he was an above knee, below knee trauma.
I couldn't even roll over in bed. I had to relearn everything.
We put Bob on a power knee. Now he's the first civilian in the country to go through accelerated rehab like that. We're the only place in the country that's doing that.
A year later, I'm walking on my own without any assistance.
Whatever I did on the track, I did with those guys. And whatever I did during my daily life, I did with those guys.
If I haven't switched over to Prosthetic Innovations and got the comfortable socket that I needed to really get mobile again, so I need one explanation for it, I'd be dead. Mentally dead.
Anyone that is an amputee or knows one should have Prosthetic Innovations in the hospital with them.
We're able to work with a lot of veterans, both from current conflicts and from previous conflicts. So we have a good basis of understanding of what their specific needs can be.
And it's not just strapping on technology, it's about creating the right environment in the socket, creating the right prosthesis for that person to succeed.
They went over there and they made great sacrifices. And they came back with mangled bodies that need repair. And they need every opportunity and every chance to get every bit of their life back that they had before they left and stepped foot over there in war.
We can make a difference quicker for these soldiers. We can bring their performance to the next level.
Make custom prosthetics for people that want to live again.
And we want to apply what we're doing to make sure that these guys are achieving all their dreams.